bothers us. Finally, Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, the listing is there of how much is going to each county. And this is as the bill came, Mr. Speaker. I want to believe that our colleagues from Budget and Finance, without seeing the amendments, that I already support their position, because I'm aware of some of the proposals that have been made there. With those very many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I want to request the whip of a majority side, who's a member of a Budget and Finance Committee, to second and help us understand better even more salient issues that perhaps I may have missed in my moving notes. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, debate keeps on raging in this country on who is the actual enemy of it. It's not too clear, but I'm starting to think that senators, governors, and members of the National Assembly are actually enemies of devolution, including myself. Mr. Speaker, I say this with maximum respect because the object of this bill is a simple thing. Provide a tool to transfer additional funds from the national government to the devolved governments in accordance with the recommendation of the Constitution. So, the process was done, as you'll remember, and at its tail end, the recommendations which came from the first enemy, members of the National Assembly, then disagreed with them, then created a mediation committee. When you send us to that mediation committee, Mr. Speaker, we were shown the middle finger. To hell with it. And this is why, leader of the majority, we are now dealing with this business at the end of the financial year. The donors must be thinking we are mad people. Because what has happened is that the borrowed money has left the respective banks of those countries. The money is with the National Treasury. Those countries are already charging interest. But as the money is at the National Treasury, because senators, members of important, because it brought together senators, members of National Assembly, governors, permanent secretaries, cabinet secretaries from a certain region of this country. And when we were in that meeting, in his wisdom, Senator Osotsi brought up this matter. And he was supported by the governor of Busia, Paulo Tuoma. Do you know, shamelessly, almost went into disarray. Members of the National Assembly who were attending booed these two leaders in front of the president. We are not serious. And as the leader of the majority has told the country, the real reason is because members of the National Assembly want to benefit from the contracts that will arise from these additional funds. Some of them are contractors. Mr. Speaker, what do we do? And if one of you is not doing any of these things, they say you are not woke. You are not up to it. If you are really woke, you should be one of the people participating in those contracts so that you look rich and live large. We are at a place whereby we have to speak to the soul of the nation and realize that this country will succeed or fail depending on us. Mr. Speaker, The gist we pass, if we do, is that the counties will now access a whopping 50.5 billion. It is there. It is there. We just pass it today, and counties will access 50.5 billion. Why would a member of the National Assembly not support that money going to the county where he comes from? And all counties are benefiting. Leader of the majority in the Senate, leader of the majority in the National Assembly, the presidency, you must bring the leaders together. We stop this nonsense. Members of Parliament as the ones delaying this because they want to do business. So what have we done, Mr. Speaker? We have created 4 schedules. In the first schedule, we've made it easy. You'll see it, and we want to apologize for not having tabled the report by now. We've just finished a few minutes ago. In the first schedule, Mr. Speaker, we have put 7.5 billion, which is the additional allocations that come from the national government as a share of revenue raised nationally. I'll go to the specifics. Then in the second schedule, we've made it easy. We have segregated the 10.5 billion shillings that governors and MPs are fighting over the road maintenance levy. That we have created a second schedule for clarity. And in the third schedule, we have put money that is realized from court fines that are collected at various points where we have courts in the counties. And in the final schedule, we have then created a schedule showing the loans and grants. Having simplified it that way, Mr. Speaker, we have taken the first important step which we are asking this House to support this morning. Namely, we have removed from the bill any mention of that thing, road maintenance levy. It is a debate that cannot end. Removed it completely from the bill. Until the courts have made a decision. Because if you do anything here, it brings in the long story of sub judice and so on and so forth. So we have put it aside completely. Then we have remained with those 3 schedules. So there are these 3 schedules that I want to speak to for you to appreciate so as to pass it quickly this morning. And in the first schedule, Mr. Speaker, the 7.54 billion will go towards construction of the stalled headquarters at those 5 counties that you all know. The second one will go to CAIPs, County Aggregated Industrial Parks. They are going to be undertaken in only 19. And this money has been enhanced, Mr. Speaker. Now, when you look at your schedule, your county might or might not benefit. So don't slow down the process by saying, okay, my county has not benefited and therefore I'm not going to support. It is because the National Treasury, and we have agreed with them as a committee, has phased out this process because the money is not enough. Phased out 18 counties, phase 1, phase 2, 18 counties, and finally phase 3, 11 counties. At the end of the phasing, everybody will have gotten the 250 million meant for this. So even if your county like Kakamega is not benefiting, we still, like my Kakamega, we still pass it. Mr. Speaker, and then of course there is the issue of the community health promoters. It is in there with a salary of 3.234 billion shillings and basic salary for county health workers worth 1.7, and transfer of museums to these counties, because museum under the constitution is supposed to have been devolved, but it was delayed. So we are cleaning it up, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the third schedule, which is fines, it is up to million shillings. These fines, we have decided to pass it, quote unquote, shingo pande, because it is even not clear to us. When the National Treasury just throws it at us, that go and share out 116 million shillings, what is the authenticity of that figure? What tool do we have when money is being collected in Mombasa and it is taken to the consolidated fund? Now, when they declare to us that, Senate, go and share it out, how do we know that the figure they declare is the actual and that they did not collect more? It has created a window for theft of public funds, and the committee has this morning directed that not the National Treasury, written to the Auditor General to do an audit of these court fines, because we believe that the money collected in Kenya has got fines, Senator, for Nairobi. The whole of Kenya, it cannot be for 2 financial years, only 116 million. It surely must be more. So we've been disturbed, and we have ordered for that special audit. It will be done, and we shall report to the House. The final schedule, which is on grants, on grants and loans, it is the one that contains the lion's share of the amount of money. It is 35.66 billion shillings. I will not waste the time of the House by saying all the loans, describing them. They're in the schedule you're going to see, but basically that is where the biggest shame that the leader of the majority was speaking to, that we are having money to develop the country, and because of some funny interests, we are where we are. I therefore want to conclude in seconding this by, since the leader of the majority was not in the committee, by thanking the stakeholders who enabled us to come up with this very comprehensive report. And colleagues, we've tried to do a good job. In fact, today we started at 7 a.m. We've just finished. We've tried to do a good job. Where your county doesn't seem to be getting the best, please just agree with us so that we can make progress. I thank you, all of you, and with those remarks, Mr. Speaker, I second.
Honourable Senators, I will now proceed to put the question that the County Government's Additional Locations Bill I proceed to propose the question that the County Government's Additional Locations Bill, Senate Bills number 1 of 2025, be now read a second time. The floor is now open for debate. Honourable Senator Sifuna.